Jrue Holiday had his press conference, his huge press conference yesterday, the long-awaited press conference of Jrue Holiday as a Portland Trailblazer.
This is a massive deal, dude. Massive deal.
You knew it was a big deal when he was like standing/sitting and not at like a table with the GM and the coach.
There was no jersey hold up.
No.
There was no coach. There was no
None of
general
that.
manager. He was at a little table, and his kid, who was probably 8 or 9, I don't know how old his son is, was sitting in his lap the entire time.
Does him not having the holding the jersey with the general manager and coach make you believe he won't be here more than a season?
Yes.
That's kind of a vibe,
That
right?
was the vibe that I got. And that was the only reason I was supportive of the trade when it happened in the first place, is that you're hopefully going to move on from him in a year. But, yeah, that made me think that as well.
Well, he was asked questions. The first was what he has talked about in regards to what his expectation and role is going to be within the Blazers. This is what he said he's talked about with Chauncey.
Honestly, we've talked about offense slightly, a little bit. Obviously, defense, I feel like I fit it anywhere. Knowing the type of defense that they had and played with. Excuse me, sir. Yeah, let's relax a little bit. Right here, hold that. Yeah, the type of defense that they had last year, super excited about. But honestly, I'm here to fit in wherever I fit in.
That was his kid opening a wrapper, by the way. He was on his lap. So it kept like a popping noise that you heard. And he's like, excuse me, sir.
I also know that he's a bit of he's not the most, high energy guy in interviews and stuff. And a lot of Jrue Holiday interviews sound like that. There was a vibe that I got yesterday of like, I'm here. Thanks for what you did for me last time, but I know this isn't going to be long term.
Okay, well, he was asked about Scoot and Shea. What are your thoughts on Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe?
They let it hoop. You can tell they give 110% every time they play. So super excited to,
Sure about that.
if it's mentor them, but just kind of play the game, be able to go out here and show the world not just my talent, but theirs. And just from playing against them, they have long roads ahead of them. They're going to have a very long careers.
And the one thing about Jrue Holiday being in Portland is we hear the mentor. Oh, they brought him in to be the mentor. They brought him in to be the leader. And I want you to just listen to the tone of when he was asked, hey, at this stage of your career, you ready to mentor, to be the mentor on a team?
Sure. I think I really just like basketball. It doesn't really matter the age. I know when I was younger and first coming in, I had vets, but I try not to look at them as vets. More just kind of like study everything around me. And even though I'm at this age now, I feel like I still try to do the same thing, even though guys might be younger and I might not like the same type of music or we might not be in the same thing, but I also feel like that's what makes us a team, is finding commonality and be able to mesh and mesh over that and then kind of translate it to the court.
He was asked a mentor-ish question like 2 or 3 times in this thing. It's about 13 minutes. And I got a real like, hey, you guys should listen to Brandon Sprague and his radio show because he's been 100% right. I'll mentor if the kid asks a question. I'm just here to play basketball.
Yeah, I'm not an assistant coach. You are paying me $30-something million to hoop, and I'm gonna hoop. And if that helps your young guys, it helps your young guys.
Right.
But I'm not a coach on the floor.
It's not my responsibility for them to be professional athletes.
I also love they give 110% every game, which I'm high on, or hopeful I should say, that both of them have good years. But that's been a criticism of Shaedon Sharpe, is that he doesn't always play with 100% effort, and that's one of the reasons he was benched last year, and he might be coming off the bench this year in year 4.
Yeah, he was asked his fit because he said he was excited to play with Dame. Obviously, we have Scoot. We have Blake Wesley as well. We cannot.
Do not overlook Blake Wesley.
Massive news.
Big
acquiring
fan
Blake Wesley.
of Blake Wesley.
The Spurs are also in a rebuild, trying to win a championship with Wemby. They did not want Blake Wesley. We got Blake Wesley.
Steal of the offseason is what people are telling me.
But, there's a lot of point guards on this team right now, and he was asked, like, hey, how are you going to fit if this is just a bunch of point guards?
I think I play every position. I think I've proven that and shown that throughout my career. I think for me, I'm a complete basketball player, so you can't just put just one position on me. And even the way the game is changing now, there's so many guys who may have never played point guard, and you come into the league and they're playing point guard now. So I feel like I'm good. I'm a good fit with anyone. And again, Dame's game is so easy to play with. He opens up the floor because of his scoring ability and his shooting ability, and he gets you open shots because of his driving ability. So I feel like what's not to want to play with.
Little whispers from the kid here. I want to get
now, Dad. Go play. Can I have a fruit roll up? It's boring. Where's the PS5? Who are all these white people? Get me out of here. I want to get the hell off your lap. I liked Boston better. Do you think he's more excited to play with Dame in a year or Scoot now? I also love, too, like, one of the main arguments of acquiring Jrue at the time was the whole mentor thing, which then he totally poo-poos in the answering of the question of, like, yeah, man, I'm just here to play basketball. Like, I hope that hopefully they can, learn something from me.
He seems far and away more excited to be a teammate of Dame
yes,
and play with Dame.
The guy who's not going to play this year.
Yeah.
And then we went through the whole, well, you need a leader, you need a mentor in your locker room for your young guards. Jrue Holiday is going to be great at that. And then they signed Damian Lillard to a 3-year, $42 million deal to have that same role and be the mentor for your young guards.
We've long wanted Jrue Holiday in a Blazer uniform.
Yes.
Since he kicked our ass in 2018 and they swept the 3-seeded Blazers as a
when
6
they were
seed.
both healthy and in the prime of their careers, he would have been the perfect guard to have alongside Damian Lillard because he maxes deficiencies defensively.
The unfortunate thing I have to call out on Jrue Holiday, because I find him really refreshing and honest and not really with the BS. I've watched a lot of Jrue Holiday. You don't play the 5.
No.
You don't play the 4. I've seen you be the 3 a little bit. I've seen you obviously be a 2 and a 1. But
he can play bigger than what his
ain't a
stature
five.
is,
Yeah,
but he's
you ain't
not
a five.
playing center. You're not going to play. I think we should go with a 3-guard lineup. I think that's what we learned yesterday. We used to do it. Why not bring it back? Scoot, Shea, and Jrue all in the starting lineup.
I'm
Two at the 5, Denny at the 4.
I mean, that's gonna happen.
Run people up and down the floor.
I don't know if it's gonna be heavy minutes, but we're gonna definitely see a Jrue Scoot Shea thing at some point. It's
it will
just
take
gonna
place.
happen.
It will take place.
Lastly, he was asked, "Hey man, what are your goals here? You're in Portland now. What are your goals as a Blazer?"
Honestly, it's to win. I feel like that's always been the ultimate goal ever since you've started playing basketball, is to win. And whatever that may look like. Obviously, taking small wins is great, but winning is what we do, is what we play this game for. So if it's getting to the playoffs, if it's winning the championship, I feel like winning is the purpose and the reason why I'm here.
What's his feelings if we don't win and we don't win the championship or even get to the playoffs?
Probably not happy about that. Probably not where he wants to be at this stage of his career.
He strikes me as the tone I would take away. He's a consummate professional.
Yes.
My reading of his answers and his tones and all that, like if I'm to like dive into that, he just came off as a guy that's like, dude, I really want to win.
How does this make sense? I think there's something of that in his mind too.
I think he respects Joe and Chauncey.
Yes.
They put him into Boston and gave him a championship.
He gave him a shout out for that yesterday. He said
did.
he's very appreciative of what they did for him, sending him to Boston. And I remember that being a talking point for us at the time of like, Jrue Holiday never played a game in a Blazer uniform. Why are we allowing him to dictate where he's going to get traded? That didn't make a lot of sense if there was a better package out there. But, that's all water under the bridge now.
Yeah.
So he was thankful for that. But I do think in his mind, on top of that, he's saying, how does this all make sense?
I think he's just going to be the professional he is, but like that guy wants to still play high level, meaningful basketball with a chance to win.
Yeah, he probably thinks he has 3 to 4 years left.
Yeah, and maybe they'll be a play-in team this year.
Never know.
Injuries will break their way, and they'll be the 8th seed or the 7th seed. I don't have them being much higher than that unless
Chinese Jokic is Chinese Jokic, baby.
right, and things just go a different direction.
Yeah.
So barring that, it's going to be like, you cool with being a 10 seed, dude? Because there were 3 games worse than the 10 seed last year. Dallas was the 10 seed. They had 39 wins. They were 36 this year. Their over-under is like 33.5, 34, depending on the book. That's not lining up with what his goals are here in Portland of,
No.
I want to win. I want to be in a title situation. He's not going to say that publicly because, again, consummate professional. But it doesn't seem to line up with what his goals are, which, again, goes back to it may be a nothing burger. He could be untradeable. He could be here for all 3 years of the contract. Everybody said DeAndre Ayton was going to get traded for stuff, and then we bought him out. So
Totally fair.
I have no idea what the future holds for Jrue Holiday in Portland. But him not holding a jersey up, it just had a real he's here for maybe a year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they move on after that.
And I think that's the move that is how this trade makes sense at the end of the day. That's what I've argued since they made the deal, and why I like the deal was that I thought there would be a little value there. Now, you have pointed out accurately so. We all would have said something similar about DeAndre Ayton. That's a massive expiring deal. How do you not get something out of it? And they didn't get anything for it. They had to pay him to go away, essentially.
Yeah.
So you never know how this stuff's going to work out. I think there's more value for a Jrue Holiday because of the effort that he plays in, the defense that he can still play, what he is in a locker room on a bench. Like, there's no work ethic questions about him.
It's the contract.
But it's the contract. And if you don't get anything for it, then it's going to be an absolute blunder and head scratcher, because having him here for the next 3 years with 2 young guards and Dame returning, I just don't quite understand how that all works out.
Sure.
That's a down-the-road problem. Dame's not playing this year. He's going to be on the roster this year. If he's dealt at the deadline or next offseason, I could say, okay, it makes a little more sense now. If you can't find a trade partner for it, if he has a bad year, or hell, if worst-case scenario, he gets hurt at the age of 35 with 2 years and like $60, $70 million left on that deal,
you're stuck.
Then you're stuck.
You're stuck.
And then you're looking in the mirror saying, where do we go from here and how do we get better? What do we do with our young guards? There's a million questions left to have. There were reports that came out when he got traded here. They didn't want to be here. Those got quickly refuted. People said, no, it's not the case. He's not feeling that way. I did get a general vibe, and I remember when they tweeted out the video of him his first time walking through the facility.
When he showed up in the van.
It was like, he just had a vibe of a guy who was like,
can't believe I'm really here.
What am I doing here? You want me? How does this? Why? How? Huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't make a lot. And they had that. Yeah, there's a little bit of that vibe yesterday. We'll see how it all plays out long term. But I definitely had that takeaway.
Dude, he'll
too.
lace him up. He'll go show.
He's going to play hard every night. No doubt about it.
There's nothing to worry about there. We're just like looking at the whole picture of this, and it could work out. It also, he is 35. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to see him in the uniform.
Yep.
I've been a Jrue Holiday fan forever.
Just unfortunate that it was 4 years too late.
Well, yeah. It's
It's
actually longer than that.
Yeah, 5 years to 6 years too late, 7 years too late, 8 years too late.
2018, the year we lost?
I believe so. Yeah, when he got to New Orleans in 2014, 2013, somewhere around there, and he's been a pretty damn good player ever since then.
Depressing scene, me at a bar watching game one of that series where it was like, oh my God, we might do it this year. We're a 3 seed. Sweep.
I think they went to Myers Leonard on the last possession, did they not, in game one or game two? I remember losing it, and it was like, why are we drawing up a play from Myers Leonard?
I have to go back and look at that. I don't remember that one from Terry, but we'll have to go back and look.
I remember that one vividly because it was Myers Leonard.